Hi, welcome back to our podcast where we dive deep into the trends and topics shaping our world today. In this episode, we're shining a spotlight on a generation that's often misunderstood but has undeniably reshaped the way we live, work, and think. Yes, we're talking about the millennials. Those born roughly between 1981 and 1996. From tech innovation to social activism, millennials are a generation of strength, resilience, and adaptability. Let's explore why this generation has so much more to offer than the stereotypes suggest. First, the tech savvy innovators. First up, let's talk about one of the most defining characteristic of millennials, their relationship with technology. Millennials were the first generation to grow up with the internet as part of their daily lives, whether it was dial-up connection in the early 2000s or the explosion of social media in the late 2000s. Millennials were there at the forefront. But it's not just about knowing how to use the latest app or gadget. This generation has also been behind some of the biggest tech innovations in the past few decades, right? And think about the companies founded by millennials: Uber, Instagram, and Airbnb, just to name a few. These companies have completely transformed industries and made things more convenient, accessible, and in many cases affordable for millions around the world. Exactly. Millennials are not just users of technologies, they are innovators, early adopters, and digital natives who've shaped tech culture in a way that's now inseparable from our daily lives. And let's not forget about the rise of the gig economy and the way millennials have revolutionized work through apps, freelancing, and remote opportunities. Let's talk about how this impacts personal lives. Millennials are more connected than any previous generations, not just through devices but through the power of digital platforms. Social media isn't just a time waster, it's a place for building communities, advancing careers, and even social movements. So, millennials, more than any generation, have faced economic challenges like the 2008 financial crisis, rising student debt, and housing costs that continue to outpace salaries. But rather than folding under pressure, millennials have developed incredible resilience. And it's not just about surviving these challenges, it's about finding creative solutions. Millennials are taking control of their finances in ways past generation didn't need to. Many have turned into side hustle, freelancing, or started their own businesses. They become masters of adaptability and resourcefulness. Exactly. And despite the economic obstacles, millennials are often more optimistic about the future than we give them credit for. They are leading the charge in personal finance, finance literacy, and reshaping the meaning of success. I remember talking to a friend who's a millennial entrepreneur. They started their own business after being laid off and worked tirelessly to build a brand. And now they're thriving in a way they never imagined, using the lessons learned from those financial challenges. It's stories like this that shadow millennials' remarkable strength and resilience. Now, let's shift gears a bit. Beyond their resilience in economic matters, millennials are also redefining social activism, whether it's fighting for climate justice, racial equality, or gender rights. Millennials are at the forefront of social movements. And absolutely, they're not just protesting or speaking out. They're using their voices, platforms, and networks to create tangible change. Millennials understand the power of collective action, whether it's through organizing on social media or pushing for policy changes on a larger scale. And one of the most powerful tools they've used to make a difference is social media. Millennials know how to mobilize their peers and spark global conversations with hashtag like hey hashtag me too or hashtag black lives matter and hashtag fridays for future. These movements have changed the way we think about justice and equality. Take the example of the 2016 Women's March or the climate strikes led by the Greta Thunberg. Both of these movements gained momentum thanks to the digital strategies perfected by millennials. As we move forward, millennials continue to lead conversation around the future of work, digital privacy, and social equality. Their ability to adapt, innovate, and advocate for change makes them a generation of immense strength. One of the most interesting aspects of millennial strength is their redefinition of work-life balance. Unlike previous generations, millennials place a higher premium on job satisfaction, flexibility, and personal well-being. They're not as focused on climbing the corporate ladder. They want to build lives that prioritize happiness and purpose. Exactly. Millennials value meaning over money. They seek careers that align with their values, whether it's working for socially conscious companies, pursuing creative endeavors, or starting their own businesses. The rise of purpose driven careers is largely thanks to millennials. I recently spoke to a millennial who left a stable corporate job to work in nonprofit management. They wanted to make a positive impact and felt their skills could be better to use to address social issues. That kind of shift in thinking is really shaping the modern workplace. So, to wrap things up, millennials are a generation full of strength. From their resilience in the face of economic challenges to their drive for social change and innovative spirit, millennials have shown us that they are not just surviving, they're thriving and paving the way for the future generations. And let's not forget how they changed the workforce, redefining the importance of job satisfaction and work life balance. They're more than just a generation, they're a force for good. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoy these conversations, my conversation, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with others who might find it inspiring. Millennials are not just the future, they're the present, shaping the world in a ways we can all learn from. Thank you for listening, and until next time, have a great day.